Have you ever found yourself delaying tasks even when you know they're important? Well, you're not alone. Welcome, fellow dawdlers and dilly-dalliers. We've all been there, staring at a blank screen, knowing full well that the deadline is looming, but still finding a million other things to do. Yes, we're talking about procrastination, that ever-present specter that haunts our productivity and saps our motivation. Procrastination is like a universal language. It doesn't discriminate. It's the professional's nemesis, the student's constant companion, the artist's block. It's that nagging voice in the back of your mind, whispering sweet nothings about tomorrow's potential while today's tasks pile up, untouched. But what if I told you there's another way? What if we could silence that voice, take control of our time, and turn procrastination from an enemy into an ally? That's what we're here for today. This is the start of a journey that will take us into the heart of procrastination, to understand it, confront it, and ultimately overcome it. We're not talking about quick fixes or magic bullets. We're talking about real practical solutions, strategies that you can apply in your day-to-day life to take back control from procrastination. Over the course of this video, we'll dive deep into the world of procrastination. We'll explore why we procrastinate, the impact it has on our lives, and the most effective strategies for overcoming it. We'll even introduce you to some tools that can help you along the way. But remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And the first step to overcoming procrastination is understanding it. Because once we understand something, we can change it. And change, my friends, is what this is all about. So are you ready to break free from the chains of procrastination? Stay tuned. To overcome procrastination, we first need to understand why we procrastinate. And that's exactly what we're going to explore in this segment. Procrastination, in its simplest form, is the act of delaying or postponing tasks. But why do we do this? What's going on in our minds that makes us push aside tasks that we know we need to complete? Let's dive deep into the psychology behind this intriguing behavior. The first factor we're going to look at is fear of failure. This is a big one. Many of us procrastinate because we're afraid of failing at the tasks that we need to complete. This fear can be paralyzing, causing us to avoid doing anything at all rather than facing the possibility of not succeeding. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. We're so scared of failing that we don't even try, thus ensuring our failure. Then there's perfectionism. This trait can be just as crippling as fear of failure. Perfectionists often procrastinate because they're afraid they won't be able to complete a task perfectly. They're so focused on making everything flawless that they end up doing nothing at all. It's the classic case of, if I can't do it perfectly, I won't do it at all mindset. Lastly, we have lack of motivation. This can be due to many factors such as not finding the task interesting, feeling overwhelmed by the size of the task, or simply not seeing the value in completing it. When we're not motivated, it's easy to find excuses to put off tasks until later, a later that often never comes. These are just a few of the psychological reasons why we procrastinate. In understanding these factors, we can start to see procrastination not as a personal failing, but as a complex psychological issue that many of us struggle with. Now that we understand why we procrastinate, we can start working on how to overcome it. And that's exactly what we're going to do in the next segment, so stay tuned. Because understanding is just the first step. The real work begins now. Procrastination might seem harmless, but it can have serious consequences. Now let's delve into how procrastination can actually act as an invisible chain, holding us back in various areas of our lives. Picture this. It's a typical day in your life. You have a task, could be a project at work, could be a paper that needs writing for school, or maybe it's that fitness plan you've been meaning to start, but instead of getting started, you tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. This is procrastination, and it might seem innocent, but it's quite the opposite. Firstly, procrastination is a major stress inducer. When you postpone tasks, they pile up. This backlog can then become a mountain that seems impossible to climb, leading to feelings of stress and anxiety. Who needs that, right? Secondly, procrastination can directly affect your performance. When tasks are left to the last minute, the quality inevitably suffers. There's simply not enough time to give your best, and this can reflect poorly on you. Whether it's a rushed report at work or a hastily written essay, the results are rarely as good as they could be. Thirdly, and perhaps most importantly, procrastination can lead to missed opportunities. Opportunities don't always come knocking twice. By delaying tasks and decisions, you risk missing out on chances that could lead to personal or professional growth. In essence, procrastination is like a thief in the night, stealing your time, your peace of mind, and even your opportunities. It's not just about being lazy or disorganized. but it's a habit that can set us on a path of underachievement, dissatisfaction, and regret. Clearly, procrastination is more than just a bad habit. It's a hurdle that can prevent us from reaching our full potential. So if you find yourself stuck in the cycle of, "I'll do it tomorrow," it's time to break free, and we're here to guide you on that journey. In the next part of this video, we'll be discussing strategies to overcome procrastination. So stay tuned. Now let's dive into some strategies that can help you overcome procrastination. Firstly, let's talk about breaking tasks into smaller parts. Procrastination often looms when we're faced with a big, daunting task. It's like standing at the foot of a mountain, looking up at the peak, and feeling overwhelmed by the climb ahead. But what if we break that mountain into smaller, more manageable hills? Suddenly the ascent doesn't seem so intimidating. The same principle applies to any task that triggers procrastination. By breaking it into smaller, more manageable parts, we can tackle each segment one at a time and make steady progress. It's like eating an elephant, you do it one bite at a time. Next, let's talk about setting specific goals. When our goals are vague or ambiguous, it's easy to fall into the trap of procrastination. We may feel unsure about where to start or what steps to take, which can lead to inaction. That's why it's so important to set specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals, or what is commonly known as SMART goals. A SMART goal could be something like, "I will write 500 words of my research paper every day for the next 2 weeks." This goal is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant to the task at hand, and time-bound. It gives you a clear direction and makes it easier to take action. Now, let's move on to time management techniques. Effective time management is a crucial weapon in the battle against procrastination. Techniques such as the Pomodoro technique, time blocking, and the Eisenhower matrix can help you manage your time more efficiently and keep procrastination at bay. The Pomodoro technique involves working for a set amount of time, typically 25 minutes, then taking a short break before starting another work session. Time blocking involves dedicating specific blocks of time to different tasks or activities throughout your day. The Eisenhower matrix helps you prioritize tasks based on their urgency and importance. These techniques help create a structure and rhythm to your day, making it easier to get started on tasks and stay focused. Next, let's discuss the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness is the act of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When applied to procrastination, mindfulness can help us become more aware of the thoughts and feelings that trigger our procrastination habits. For example, you might notice that you tend to procrastinate when you're feeling tired, stressed, or overwhelmed. By becoming aware of these triggers, you can take steps to address them and prevent them from leading to procrastination. Mindfulness can also help you stay focused on the task at hand, rather than getting caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past. Lastly, let's touch upon the importance of self-compassion. Procrastination can often lead to feelings of guilt or self-criticism. We might beat ourselves up for not getting started sooner, or for wasting time. But this negative self-talk only fuels the cycle of procrastination. Instead, try practicing self-compassion. Recognize that everyone procrastinates sometimes, and it's okay to have off days. Rather than criticizing yourself, try to understand why you're procrastinating and what you can do to overcome it. Self-compassion can help you break the cycle of guilt and procrastination and make it easier to get back on track. In conclusion, overcoming procrastination is not about eliminating it entirely, but rather about managing it effectively. It's about recognizing when you're prone to procrastinate, understanding why, and having strategies in place to tackle it head-on. Remember, these strategies require practice and patience, but with time you can master them and beat procrastination. And remember, the journey to overcoming procrastination is not a sprint, but a marathon. It's a process of trial and error, of learning and growth. So don't be too hard on yourself if you stumble along the way. Just keep going, keep trying, and keep believing in yourself. After all, the only real failure is the failure to try. Remember, these strategies require practice and patience, but with time you can master them and beat procrastination. In this digital age, there are numerous tools that can assist you in your fight against procrastination. Now let's delve into the digital toolbox and explore some popular productivity apps and tools that can help you manage your time and tasks more effectively. First off, we have Forest. This app uses the concept of planting trees to encourage you to stay focused. When you want to concentrate, you plant a virtual tree. If you leave the app to do something else, the tree dies. It's a fun and engaging way to keep you on task. Next up is Trello. This tool is perfect for visualizing your tasks and projects. You can create boards for different projects, add tasks as cards, and move them around as you progress. It's a fantastic tool to get an overview of your tasks and keep track of your progress. For those who prefer a simple and straightforward tool, Todoist is an excellent choice. It's a to-do list app that allows you to organize your tasks, set deadlines, and even assign tasks to others. It's perfect for managing your day-to-day tasks and ensuring nothing slips through the cracks. If you're looking for a comprehensive tool that does it all, Asana is your best bet. It allows you to track your work, collaborate with others, and even integrate with other apps you use. It's a powerful tool for managing complex projects and keeping everything in one place. And lastly, we have Headspace. Procrastination often stems from stress and anxiety, and Headspace can help you tackle that. It's a meditation app that guides you through mindfulness exercises, helping you to relax, focus, and overcome mental barriers. But remember, while these tools can be incredibly effective, they're just that, tools. They can assist you, guide you, and even motivate you, but at the end of the day, the real change comes from within. It's your determination, your willpower, and your commitment that will ultimately help you overcome procrastination. These tools can be a great ally, but remember, they're just tools. The real change comes from within you. Let's look at a real-life example of someone who managed to overcome procrastination. Meet Jane. Jane was a college sophomore juggling her academics and part-time job. Like many of us, she found herself pushing tasks to the last minute, causing stress and anxiety. Jane knew she needed to overcome this habit of procrastination. She began by acknowledging her issue. She understood that procrastination was not just about laziness but also about fear of failure and perfectionism. Jane started to work on her mindset. She shifted her focus from the daunting tasks to the benefits she would gain once they were complete. This shift in perspective helped her to start tasks without the overwhelming pressure. Next, Jane broke down her tasks into smaller, manageable chunks. Writing a 10-page essay seemed intimidating, but writing 2 pages a day for 5 days felt doable. She used this strategy for all her tasks, making them seem less daunting and more manageable. Jane also started using tools to help her stay on track. She used a planner to schedule her tasks and set reminders. She also used productivity apps that blocked distractions on her devices during her designated study hours. But the game changer for Jane was the Pomodoro technique. She would work for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break. These intervals allowed her to maintain her focus and productivity without burning out. Over time, Jane noticed a significant reduction in her procrastination. She felt less stressed, had more free time, and her grades improved. Jane realized that overcoming procrastination was less about willpower and more about strategy and approach. She understood that it's okay to have off days. What's important is to acknowledge it and not let one off day turn into a habit. It's about progress, not perfection. As you can see, overcoming procrastination is achievable. It just requires determination and the right approach. So we've covered a lot today about procrastination and how to overcome it. And aren't we all glad we didn't put off this important conversation? To recap, we started by defining procrastination, that habit of postponing tasks that many of us are all too familiar with. It's not just about laziness, as some may believe, but often a complex interplay of fear, perfectionism, and lack of motivation. We then delved into the impact of procrastination, a topic that really emphasizes why this habit is worth kicking. We talked about how it affects not only our productivity but also our mental and physical health, creating a cycle of stress and guilt that can be hard to break. But it's not all doom and gloom. We shared some incredibly effective strategies to overcome procrastination. We talked about breaking tasks into manageable chunks, setting realistic goals, and rewarding ourselves for each milestone. We also discussed the power of positive thinking and how changing our mindset can make a huge difference. We also looked at some tools that can help us in our battle against procrastination. From productivity apps to simple pen and paper, we explored how these tools can keep us on track and make our tasks less daunting. In the last segment, we discussed the process of overcoming procrastination. It's not an overnight fix, but a journey of understanding our habits, implementing strategies, and being kind to ourselves when we falter. It's about progress, not perfection. Overcoming procrastination is more than just getting things done. It's about regaining control over our time and our life. It's about reducing stress, improving our health, and unlocking our true potential. It's about becoming the best version of ourselves. Remember, overcoming procrastination opens up a world of productivity and success. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Stay motivated and conquer procrastination.